So it has come to my attention rather unexpectedly. I did not see this coming because nobody told me about it. I didn't know from Gigabyte or any of the other vendors or from Nvidia directly that a 1660 Super was even coming. And now that it's here, I feel like I need to clear some things up with you guys. It's easy to harp on Nvidia, right? It's easy to harp on Intel. And if you do it to AMD at this point in time, the fan base is still a little sensitive, although rational discussions can be had. My cat just jumped up and bit me for absolutely no reason. When I heard that there was going to be a skew between the 1660 and 1660 Ti, my immediate thought was, why the heck is there something between these two? Isn't that the point of the Ti in the first place? It's supposed to be just a small step up from the original 1660 or whatever 60 skew, 70 skew, 80 skew, doesn't matter. The Ti was the step above. Now there's a step in between the step above and the original step. So I don't know necessarily what NVIDIA's thinking, but I feel like we are giving them too much crap, to be frank. And look, you can complain all you want about having 12 Turing SKUs at your disposal, but my response to that is, who the heck cares if there are 5 SKUs or 15 SKUs? The fact is, there are viable options from NVIDIA currently on the market, including the 1660 Super, that you should consider. So yeah, I'm gonna be slightly defending NVIDIA here, but I'm not taking any money from NVIDIA to do this. I don't expect NVIDIA to frankly care. They probably won't even see this video, nor AMD or Intel for that matter. So let me get this off my chest and just bear with me.
Thermal Grizzly's Carbonaut pads offer peace of mind, ease of installation, and industry standard performance in a market crowded with mediocre thermal compounds. Our own testing confirms that they conduct heat appropriately and provide a safe and consistent membrane between the die or IHS and cooler. Best of all, you can grab them in several sizes and reuse them as many times as you'd like. Carbonaut pads are peace of mind in my book, and they're very consistent, and that's why I use them for CPU testing. Check them out via the link below.
So the 1660 Super was released the other day, and I had absolutely no idea that the card even existed up until launch day. That's how in the dark I was about it. I watched a few videos, read a few articles, quickly concluded that 1660 Super is in fact a great card. I'm not bitter that I wasn't sent one. I have plenty of cards and crap. That's not my place. When I was younger, I used to feel that way, to be frank with you guys. I used to be like, oh, why did they get one? They're a smaller channel, I didn't get one. Like, I don't care anymore. You know, if they don't think that I'm worthy of a sample, that's fine. I'll go out and buy my own and then I'll sell it or flip it in a PC. Doesn't matter. But the fact is, I didn't even get a 1660 Super, and I still think it's a good card. I'm trying to be objective here. Of course, that is my goal as an independent reviewer. I think that my integrity would be totally in the garbage if you guys saw me shilling for one company or another, which is why, again, I stressed up front that NVIDIA has not paid me anything for this video. In fact, we've done some things with NVIDIA in the past where they've sponsored travel and stuff, but I don't even think I've taken money from NVIDIA ever before. So no worries there. If that's like your, oh, it's red flags everywhere, just relax. But yeah, this is the first I've actually ever been able to say confidently that I'm a fan of a super card. The 2080 Super was kind of mad because of its price point. 2070 and 60 Supers were pretty mad because I didn't think they brought enough to the table to justify their own SKUs. But the 1660 Super appeals to a different audience. It appeals to ballers on budgets who are by far considerably more price sensitive. Now to those asking, why did NVIDIA release a card that's a little bit more powerful than the regular 1660? Isn't that what the point of the 1660 Ti is? Seems like a valid question, but I think it's the wrong question. What I think we should be asking instead is why NVIDIA didn't release the 1660 Super as the original 1660 in the first place. And there could be several reasons for this. GDDR6 prices, an upturn in fab yields, that's a pretty valid one. The point is, NVIDIA is a multi-billion dollar company with a B, and they probably hire people at $100K plus per year to crunch all of this data. They know what they're doing. That's why they're profitable. That's why their shareholders are profitable. So I feel like if they could have done it earlier, they would have. But that doesn't mean we should be complaining about the 1660 Super's existence. It obviously hurts consumers who initially bought into the pre-Super card, the 1660, regular vanilla 1660. But NVIDIA's placing enough time between these launches that I don't think it stings as bad as it could in the lower tier market. I was a little more sensitive to the 2080 Super launch because people spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars to buy the 2080, only to find out 6 to 8 months later, whenever it was, that their card is suddenly now inferior, and it's not the second best card on the market anymore. It's like the third best card, right? So I think that's a bummer for people who put more of an investment up front into the technology. But people who bought a 1660 already knew they were making compromises. This is a low to mid-tier card. It's a great mid-tier card, if you want to call it that, for the price. But the 1660 Super is even more so. And we waited, what, around a year for it to come out? I don't think that that's a bad trade-off, and I don't think people are going to be super bitter about buying 1660s on launch day, because if they really wanted to flip them and buy a 1660 Super, I mean, the cards are almost identically priced. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. And really think about it. Tech generally outpaces itself every year anyway. Buy a phone today, and in a year you'll think it's outdated garbage that needs replacing. Ancient archaeological artifacts, right? It's possible Nvidia's playing on this notion, and I wouldn't blame them. AMD's done the same thing. Think about it. The RX 470 and the 570, 480 and the 580, right? Speaking of which, it's pretty common these days in the tech industry to see people hating on a particular brand or product. It is no secret that negative coverage is generally pretty popular among YouTube audiences. Any kind of conflict it's all popcorn and sodas, right? No two ways about it. But Intel gets a lot of this hate, and so does Nvidia. Just because I didn't like the way in which RTX was presented, though, in the keynote. I was very critical in this video here of the launch. That doesn't mean I'm going to turn a blind eye to a great product from said company. And if you're doubting how good the 1660 Super actually is after seeing launch day reviews, consider this. I said this a little early, but I'll emphasize it here. The SKU offers comparable performance to the 1660 Ti. It's pretty darn close, which in turn offers comparable performance to the GTX 1070. The 1070 launched for around $400 back in 2016. The 1660 Ti launched at a little under $300, somewhere around there. And the 1660 Super is now priced at just over $200 USD. That's GTX 1070 performance, give or take a few FPS here and there depending on the game, for $200. Heck, that's what 1070s are going for used right now on eBay and elsewhere. I've actually been recommending GTX 1070s on eBay for this price because I wasn't a fan of many Nvidia SKUs, and apart from the 5700 XT and buying older RX 480s and 580s, there really wasn't much from AMD to contend with the mid-tier market. I honestly think now I'm going to be recommending the 1660 Super instead of the used 1070, just because one's used and one's not, and you're getting comparable performance. That or a used Vega 56 if you can find one with an aftermarket cooler and maybe you have an appetite for higher power draw, I don't know. It seems that one of Nvidia's goals has been to saturate the market with as many SKUs as possible. That's another complaint I hear quite a bit, by the way. And while I don't completely agree with the pricing structures across the board, there are a few gems in the mix. Discontinued but still new RTX 2070s can sometimes be had for around $400 USD. I'd pit those head-to-head against 5700 XTs from AMD, to be frank. Lower power draw, typically cooler, quieter cards, and in some games they perform better, some games they perform worse. It just depends on your library. Some RTX 2060s are around $300. I'd call those bargains as well, like the bargain RTX card, but much better performers than GTX 970s and 6GB 1060s that were selling for similar prices in their primes. And the 1660 Super seems to be the gold mine for budget 1440p gaming. Respectable performance for just over 200 USD. So no, I'm not gonna fault Nvidia for this launch. I mean, I might question the timing and the overall strategy, but I'm not gonna complain about the fact that a great value card, or what appears to be a great value card, now exists. I don't care who it's from. This isn't about green versus red. It's about bang for the buck. I don't see color in that regard, and at least in my opinion, the 1660 Super has good bang for the buck. What do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are regarding Nvidia's tactics down below, and if the latest launch at all interests you. If you like this video, yeah, give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing. I'll catch you in the next one. My name's Greg. Thanks for learning with me.